Hello, scientists. All right, welcome to the water cycle. We are going to start our unit on the water cycle. And like at the beginning of every unit, we are going to begin with the end in mind. So I am going to be going over with you the summative assessment that you will be taking when we reach the end of the water cycle unit, which is it'll probably be like 4 weeks that we're going to be studying, depending on how things go. My plan is that we'll be studying the water cycle for 4 weeks, and at the end of that 4 weeks, you will be taking the summative. So again, we're beginning with the end in mind. I want you to see exactly what you're going to need to know to be proficient on the summative. So let's look up here at our rubric in our instructions. It says, for this summative assessment, you're going to describe the path of water as it moves through the water cycle. Okay, you're going to tell me a story about a drop of water. So in order to demonstrate proficiency, your drop in your story must move through all 3 states of matter at some point. At some point it needs to be a solid, another point it needs to be a liquid, and at some point it needs to be a gas. Okay. You must tell whether your drop is gaining or losing heat energy as it's moving between those 3 states of matter. And your drop must visit at least 5. It doesn't have to go to all of these places, but at some point in your story, it has to go to 5 of these places, either the ocean, a river, a lake, a cloud, an iceberg, a plant, the glacier, an aquifer, or the atmosphere. So pick 5. And maybe you don't know what these places are yet, but guess what? By the end of this unit, you're going to be able to know what all of these things are. So here's how you're going to turn this in or demonstrate it. You can write out a story for me that includes all of these things. You can tell me a story on Flipgrid that includes all these things. Or you make a drawing or like a cartoon strip. Just make sure you include descriptions, like when it's moving between gas or solid, liquid, and gas. You're somehow making sure I know you understand whether it's losing or gaining heat energy. And then if you're going to these places, make sure you're labeling them. Okay, and I'll give you some examples in class of what that's going to look like. To score a 4 in advance, you're going to need to correctly answer 9 out of the 12 questions on the energy transfer and water cycle summative in Discovery Education. So that is the summative assessment that Discovery Ed has at the end of this chapter, which is what we will be referring to and using during this unit. Okay, so you have to get 9 out of the 12 of those correct. And you need to score proficient on all the other things. So take a look at the rubric. Again, this proficient, basically I'm restating all of the stuff in the directions. You can look at what a 2 would be and what a 1 would be. And then make sure you answer the questions on the next page, the reflective questions. Go through this, and maybe you have things you don't understand. Maybe there's some words that you don't know that you're going to have to learn in order to be able to demonstrate proficiency. All right. I can't wait to see your responses.